For developing countries, the best fighter at their disposal is the one they can afford. Lacking the vast coffers and the industrial capabilities of countries like the United States, many nations must buy older American technology to meet their defense needs. Still, history has shown that it is often cheap, mass-produced warplanes that can make the difference in a nation's darkest hour. And that is precisely what Pakistan Aeronautical Complex hopes to achieve with its new JF-17 Thunder project. The novel jet fighter, designed by China and Pakistan, aims to replace the American-made F-16 Fighting Falcon, freeing Pakistan and other developing countries from relying on U.S. technology. The defiant move by Pakistan and China seeks to show the world that they can continue to bolster their armed forces, even under U.S. sanctions and restrictions, and without American equipment. Naming the project JF-17, the Pakistan Aeronautical Complex is boldly claiming that the new jet is a capable and affordable successor to the General Dynamics F-16 Fighting Falcon. Although the Thunder pales in comparison to the newest American fifth-generation fighters, the creation of the Chinese-Pakistani warplane signals a new age in which even developing countries can challenge the political landscape of the world. Restricted market. For decades, the F-16 Fighting Falcon has been the most highly demanded fighter in the world, with over 20 nations adding the American warplane to their respective air forces. The aircraft is an obvious choice for many such factions due to its formidable performance, overall quality, accessibility, and the fact that it is one of the only modern fighters the United States is willing to sell. Still, the U.S. carefully selects the nations that can buy the F-16, only allowing such privilege to friendly states that can offer something back to America and do not represent a threat to its interests. Moreover, even if the qualifications are met, the U.S. only releases a limited amount of F-16s for international export each year. The specific F-16 models the U.S. offers for sale are often older, austere versions that lack the groundbreaking technology that the U.S. Air Force implements on its own Fighting Falcon fleets. Such a series of restrictions have left interested nations in a difficult position, as they have to be on good political terms with the U.S. and must compete against other countries for the limited number of available fighters. In addition, they have to be willing to invest in the maintenance programs that F-16 warplanes require to operate. Still, the U.S. can stop selling more aircraft at any given time and deny the training and technology required to continuously upkeep the already bought units. The current situation with Turkey is a prime example of the difficulty many nations face when seeking to buy U.S. fighters. Turkey had been negotiating to buy several F-16s from the U.S., and as a NATO ally, the process should have been relatively straightforward. However, the negotiations became a heated debate in the U.S. Congress, as Greece had passionately demanded to stop the sale to Turkey, citing recent breaches of their airspace by the Turkish Air Force. Ultimately, the policy that U.S. authorities use to decide if they provide other countries with their aircraft technology is clear-cut, and they always focus on how much it furthers American interests in the region. This has not sat well with several countries, which have decided to take the matter into their own hands. Replacing the F-16. Pakistan's history with the F-16 Fighting Falcon has been an entangled and exhausting affair. The U.S. first sold the fighters to Pakistan back in the early 1980s as a way to arm the Pakistanis against Soviet and Afghan jets that periodically crossed the border to bomb Mujahideen training camps. The scheme was successful, with Pakistan's air power growing exponentially and its F-16s bringing down at least 10 Afghan and Soviet aircraft between 1986 and 1990. The situation then took a drastic turn in the 1990s, when concerns regarding Pakistan's nuclear program led the U.S. to delay the delivery of 28 F-16s the country had already paid for. For years, the Pakistani F-16 fleet stood neglected, unable to receive upgrade kits or additional aircraft. It wouldn't be until the 9/11 attacks that the U.S. rearmed Pakistan with 18 advanced Block 52 F-16s worth over $1.4 billion, with Pakistan committing to fight several terrorist organizations in the region. From then on, the U.S. continued to provide Pakistan with continuous support for its F-16 fleet, even selling them several mid-life upgrade kits for 53 of Pakistan's older models. However, this amicable partnership has turned sour once again, as relations between Pakistan and India continue to erode, while Pakistan and China become closer. Not willing to have the future of their Air Force restricted by the US at any given moment, Pakistan partnered with China to develop their own replacement for the American F-16, an aircraft able to mimic most of the capabilities of the Flying Falcons, while remaining free from US interference. The idea was to design an affordable, unsanctionable, fourth-generation, lightweight, multi-role combat aircraft for Pakistan's domestic use and potential international exports to other countries that are looking to get away from Western aircraft and their numerous restrictions. Designing the Thunder. Back in 1989, Pakistan was forced to abandon Project Sabre II, a program to develop a viable and low-cost multi-role combat jet based on the existing design of the Chinese Chengdu F-7 Skybolt. The project required the participation of the American Grumman Corporation, which would provide vital expertise to improve the baseline aircraft design. However, after the Tiananmen Square student protests of 1989, the US imposed significant sanctions on China, completely halting the project. Then, during the turn of the century, Pakistan expressed interest in developing an unsanctionable fighter, and China offered to support the project. The design of this aircraft was headed by Yang Wei, the mind behind the Chengdu J-20, and widely considered China's ace designer. This time, the development was deliberately designed to be carried out by China and Pakistan, with both nations splitting the $500 million cost into halves. For China, the aircraft quickly became a secondary project, as they were simultaneously developing much more capable fighters. But for Pakistan, the FC-1 project became a perfect opportunity to free its Air Force from the American restrictions. The fighter was outfitted with a powerful fourth-generation avionics suite that includes sensor fusion, an electronic warfare suite, enhanced man-machine interface, digital electronic engine control, or DEC, for its RD-93 turbofan engine, FBW flight controls, day-night precision surface attack capability, and multi-mode pulse Doppler radar for air-to-air attack capability. Pakistan renamed it the Joint Fighter 17 as a nod to the aircraft's purpose of displacing the F-16 Fighting Falcons. Still, China kept the FC-1 Xiaolong name. The first prototype had its maiden flight, and by March of 2004, the program had successfully carried out around 20 test flights. After that, several modifications were made to the air intake systems for better performance at supersonic speeds. Such adjustments not only improved performance, but also reduced the weight, cost, and complexity of the cooling systems. The Thunder entered a mass production cycle in 2007, aiming to produce 200 warplanes by 2015. But even as the resulting aircraft was considered a reasonable success for Pakistan, its speeds, payloads, responsiveness, and raw technology pale in comparison to the newest versions of the American F-16 Fighting Falcons. Still, the Thunder resulted in a capable light fighter that costs a fraction of the F-16 and is not subject to US sanctions, making it a significant achievement for the country. The perfect plan. The first JF-17 squadron, number 26, the Black Spiders, was formally introduced into the PAF fighter fleet on February 18, 2010, with a preliminary strength of 14 fighters. The Black Spiders first saw service in the anti-terrorist operation in South Waziristan, during which they were appraised with a wide array of weaponry. The novel aircraft then took part in the PAF's Highmark 2010 exercise, in which they were used by the Blue Force to attack Red Land surface targets with a variety of highly accurate air-to-surface weaponry. A re-equipment ceremonial for No. 26 Black Spider Squadron took place on April 11, 2011, during which it was stated by Pakistani authorities that the JF-17 had, quote, revolutionized the PAF's operational concepts. Currently, dozens of small and developing countries around the world are seeking to place their own Thunder aircraft orders. The fighter's low cost, impressive performance, and independence from US politics have made it a highly attractive technology for numerous factions across the globe. Pakistan, Myanmar, Nigeria, and Iraq currently own several JF-17s and have successfully used them in active combat. Additionally, Argentina, Azerbaijan, Bolivia, Malaysia, Morocco, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Sri Lanka, Sudan, and Zimbabwe are looking to acquire their own fleet of Thunder fighters, showing the market that unsanctionable warplanes are growing fast. With its simple yet reliable airframe, defensive aid system, open architecture programming language, Russian RD-93 turbofan engines, NRIET KLJ-7 radar, and 3,400-pound payload capacity, on top of its 23mm GST-23-2 twin-barrel cannon, the JF-17 has proven to be a modest yet potent solution for many developing countries that want to bolster their air defenses. For Pakistan, the JF-17 is an enormous step forward toward military independence. And for China, it is an investment in the future, as they plan to persuade smaller countries to abandon Western military weapons and opt for Chinese technology instead. Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, click on the screen to explore more exciting military content in our other Dark Documentaries channels. And don't hesitate to hit the bell icon to be notified of our newest videos, which we publish regularly. Stay tuned.